Hello, it is sisterguard here. Hopefully having a great day. I'm having a great day. We're back to Santa Rise because we're going to be going over XP and we're going to be getting Rebirth 5 on my alt account. But I'm going to take you along with the progress we do that, what you're going to be needing, and some good tips and tricks. So if you have not already, please make sure you smash the like button, do the same subscribe button. I really appreciate it a lot, and we're going to get into it. So first things first, Rebirths, how do they work? Well, first you have to get to level 1100. And then you go over to stats and you click this little rebirth button. Now I wouldn't do that until you have some of the following items. And I'm going to show you all what the meta is for XP because I get asked that a lot. First things first, putting as many points as you can into player XP. I am already Rebirth 1, so I get an increased amount. And for those of y'all wondering how Rebirth works, basically every time you Rebirth, you get a 25% buff to XP. Your highest amount that your stats can be is increased by 75, and you start the next Rebirth with an additional 75 points on top of what you have already gained from a previous Rebirth. So your XP does stack, which is really nice. Next thing, there's going to be a list of titles. I am going to show this. This is from the main Discord. So there is titles over there in the left-hand corner. Rebirth Initiate. This is actually a title you get for rebirthing once. And that's going to give you a flat 35%, which is super OP. We also have Halloween Monarch. We have Jungle Monarch, which Halloween Monarch was obtained by the Halloween event. Jungle Monarch is obtained by completing the Cleanse the Beastland questline. So that's defeating the Beast Raid. So you're going to get that as a reward. Make sure you got 2 times XP and VIP game passes. Those both give extra XP as well. You're going to want to go over to the gotchas and you're going to get Brahm all the way up to secret tier because that's going to give you an additional 75% buff. If you have the accessories, going over here, you're going to be looking for this loadout. You're going to be looking for Witch Hat, Clown Tier, Phantom Armor, and Flame Cape. You can also use Ticket as well. That one also gives 15% for the artifact spot. So it's kind of at that point what you're needing. Relics. As of right now, you're going to need Dune Monarch Heart. You're going to need Cosmic Insight, which is from the Halloween event. You're going to need Sands of Eternity. That's for Desert. Dune Monarch Heart is also from Desert. This is a Halloween event. It's Thread of Fate. Sunken Pharaoh Eye. This is also from Desert. Glass Scorpion Claw. That is also from Desert. Dune Eternal Core. That is also from Desert. That is a Halloween with the Necro Grimoire. The Pumpkin of the Damned, this is also from the Halloween event. Iron Howl Fang, that is from the Beast Raid event. The Crimson Wing, which is also from the Halloween event. The Fang of Domination, that is also from the Beast Raid. And then Artifact Shield, which I actually don't remember where that's from. Give me one moment. That is from Shield Kingdom, that is that dungeon. The recommendation I'm about to give for talents, weapons, and all of that has to deal with what you have and if it is the update day, okay? So the general consensus, and for most players, what they are going to go with is the following. Your talent will always have Relic Master on 300. You'll have Relic Expert at 675. You'll have Relic Expert 2 at 825. Now the difference comes at the 525 mark and at the 375 mark. So most people will go Title Fusion and Dungeon Collector slots. And here is why. Because it has to deal with what weapons you have. And if you're confused as to why, I have already tested this many times. If you have the ability and have an empty Crimson Fang that you have not slotted anything in, and you put 8 Greater Topaz, and you have a Darkbringer that is empty, that you can put 4 Greater Topaz and 3 Prismatic Gems, you will have a slightly higher buff than if you were to go and pick over here, dual title. This is the only case you will do dual wield. The reason I'm saying this is because if you go to the subtitles, Beast Slayer gives 10%. You don't know where Beast Slayer is, it is an old battle pass. So you go over here, old battle passes, scroll down. It's right there, Beast Slayer. It is from the Beast Pass that we had. You will use that. You will use dual title. If you do not have the option to have Crimson Fangs or Darkbringer, the next option for the best weapon you can equip, because you still can equip weapon if you're using the dual title. You don't have either of those. Or your Crimson Fang is full and your only Darkbringer is full. Is we have Ferdinand's Wrath, which if you go to Wall Kingdom and do the dungeon, the boss drops this. You are able to get this. So this is currently the other meta for XP. You do need to get it up to GM. It will have 4 of those topaz, and then you'll have, I think it's called Sapphire Core, and then you get another of the prismatic, the rainbows, and you put that there. So only use dual weapon if you have an empty Crimson Fang and an empty Darkbringer. Otherwise, it's not worth it. I'll tell you that right now. The other talent you will be working with is Dungeon Collector with the 3 slots. If you plan on doing a lot of dungeons, which that is the current meta, is doing lots of dungeons, and putting XP slots in there, that gives you another 3. I will say I would not pick this if you are using dual weapon. You will want Blade Tempest because you will clear a lot faster. I will say this, using Blade Tempest, even with a single weapon, allows them to clear a lot faster, because if you, say, are using Tidal Fusion, means you don't have Shadow General, which means your guys are only hitting 1 at a time. Blade Tempest is incredibly good, and I would recommend that. So if you're taking a more casual approach, like you're just doing Desert, or you're going to go to Castle, or you're going to run a lot of dungeons, but you're not going to use that, or you're going to use Storms, which I used a lot of Storms through the rest of this video, and yes, this is recorded after the fact. I'm trying to make sure this is clear. So I'm just letting y'all know, if you choose to not go the Blade route, you will have to put a significant amount of points in Shadow Agility. If you go the Blade route, full Blade, where you pick Blade Tempest, you don't have to put any points into Shadow Agility. You're just doing Shadow Reach because you're doing everything. I'm just saying that it is slightly easier if you're using Blade Tempest, even if it's just 1 weapon. So I'm just letting y'all know that those are your options. I'm also trying to record this so it makes the most sense, because the initial recording for this was horrible. So we're going to go back to past me and go get the XP done for the video. So most of the time people just use the dungeons to get XP. What we can do is, since there is what is called a storm break, which as you can see I'm getting XP right now, we can go ahead and use this to get started. I would recommend before you rebirth though, have some daily quests and weekly quests done. This is just to help you out, because if you don't and you rebirth, you start off with very, very, very little, and it's not fun. I'm just letting y'all know. So we're gonna get some quests done, and let's go ahead and rebirth. So I've already restarted, but because we're in the middle of this, I had some XP that it came to me. Let's go ahead and put some points. Go ahead and allocate some of these. Ironically, I'm not going to go immediately into player experience. I am going to go straight into Shadow Reach. This is so I can swing and hit things in my general area. We'll go ahead and put 50 points into player speed, just so I'm not moving slow. And then we're going to start putting stuff into player experience. Right away, I would not immediately go ahead and do that. And as you can see, we're claiming stuff. I'm getting 114 levels, 117 levels. We can go ahead and work through this brute force. And while the brute force is being worked through, we can go ahead and put some more points into player XP so that I can start getting some more levels. We are going to want some greater reach here in a minute, but we're going to try while the storm is here. Storms are also really good for doing this. We're gonna try and get as many levels as we can from this, which, by the way, our starting point for this is going to be 3 days and 8 hours. I had to get a little bit of prep work done for this because I was also working on other stuff. As you can see, I'm just walking around leveling up. So we can go ahead and put some more points into player speed just so we can make this go a little bit faster. Storms last for 15 minutes. They spawn every 30 minutes. So if you manage to get into a server with one and you're not max level, I would go ahead and utilize them. I mean, you can see the results here. I can't make this up. So we're going to keep buffing player experience. We're going to get that into max, because once we get that to max, everything else gets so much easier. And we do have another quest we can go ahead and complete. That's going to give us another 80 levels, so another 80 points. Now, because I am pretty much done with most of these active quests, I mean, I could go over and get Feral Hunt, but I really don't want to leave the storm. Another big tidbit, go ahead and start resetting your quests. So this does become kind of expensive if you want to do this quickly. If you're willing to do this lazily and passively, you can. So I'm just trying to give y'all lots of options to doing stuff. And let's go ahead and put more points into player XP so we can max that out as much as possible because we want to get as many levels as quickly as possible. Let's see. We're almost back up to 400. Okay. Now I will tell y'all later on, the dailies are they're only going to be given like a level at a time. So I will show y'all some more OP methods. I am not going to be using Hospital for this, even though Hospital is still in the game right now. Because I don't know if that's going away with the next update. So I don't want to give y'all something to use as a utility. I will tell y'all, when this video comes out, you're not maxed out. Hospital is an amazing tool to getting max. But yeah, we just rebirthed a few minutes ago. We're already back up to 500. So this makes it a lot easier. Again, it does get significantly easier every time you rebirth. Now, the quest you're going to kind of be looking for is Arising. Dungeons, if we were actually doing dungeons. I got a really bad daily, unfortunately, which that does happen. So I'm going to finish up with the storm, and then I will bring y'all back when we go move on kind of the next way you can get XP. So let's go ahead and talk about the next way to get XP, which is dungeons. So we do have dungeons. You can kind of approach these one of two ways. Especially with these high rank ones, you can go ahead and just do this normally. So let's just go ahead and run through a UGM dungeon normally. If they are red, means they have brutes in them, or they're double dungeons, they're going to get higher multipliers. But UGM dungeons are already going to give us a huge buff. As you can see, I'm just walking through here printing money. So really nice, really easy dungeon. Oh, this is a double dungeon, so we're going to get extra XP. This is where some speed would come into play, but I am trying to get that player XP maxed out. And we got 9 levels just for completing the dungeon. Now, another thing you can do, if you go over here to the rune shop, go ahead and buy you some XP runes. What you can do, especially for a dungeon like this, go over here. And this is where I was talking about you could use those extra 3 slots for dungeon items. This is where this would come into play. You basically go in here, we're going to go do an XP dungeon. This is what a lot of people do on update day, is they will save up a bunch of quests and they will go into one of these dungeons. So you just saw my XP buff go up to 93k. Usually they'll use dual title with this. So as you can see, I'm getting a ton of XP. A ton of XP. But usually what they'll do is they'll save up a bunch of quests for when one of these big dungeons show up, and then they will claim it all at once. And then it's like printed money. And we got 15 levels that time. So big, massive difference in what you can get. So it's up to you how you want to play this. If you just want to do it casually, you can, and just have an XP setup. If you want to do this quick, you're going to want to wait for update day. You also can use desert. You can also use castle to get XP passively, like if there's no good dungeons around. You have multitude of different options. I will tell you, for castle, you're going to need your range to be around 750 if you don't have gems. If you do have gems, it will be less because of that. So again, this is a personal preference thing. So if y'all remember, I made a comment about how you save up a bunch of quests and then you go into a high-end dungeon. Well, we're in a UGM double dungeon, and I have several quests completed. So we're going to stack this full of XP runes, and we're going to get some levels. I'm going to let y'all know right now, I am already over level 800, and it's been 20 minutes because I've just been farming the dungeon and doing daily quests inside of the dungeon and weekly quests that I can manage, and then just resetting them. So you can do this very quickly. You just have to have a lot of stuff. So we can go ahead and grab enemy suppression from the daily. It's going to give us 10. I have a shadow domination from my weekly. I have a mass suppression. Yeah, we just got 100 levels. And I will reset my weekly quest. I doubt we will be able to get anything from that. I got shadow domination and mass suppression. We're not going to be able to get that done this dungeon. I will be able to get this one done. So we will get one more set of things, but I can at least start working on some of this other stuff. Yeah, we're already 9:41. And let's look at that time. Yeah, I've already almost ranked up again. There we go. And we can go ahead and claim Dungeon Sweep. Another 8 levels. So yeah, we're only 155 levels from max now. So, I'll see y'all here probably in a few minutes when we go to Rebirth 3. Alright, I do want to show y'all why everyone loves Hospital. So we are going to do a single run in there. So if you are able to get to Rebirth 5 before Hospital goes away, this will be a big boon. So we're starting at level 999 at the start of this. We'll let this go for... This is a very short one. If it's a longer one, you get an even bigger boon. So it basically counts as a UGM red dungeon. That is why people love this dungeon so much. And why people have been using this to farm. Like, it multiplies what it's supposed to. Is it the best? No. Is it really good though? Yeah. So, just wanted to show you all that. We got 7 levels. Insanely quick. Alright, here in just a few minutes we should have it. Didn't have any other good dungeons spawning, so Alright, yes, I want a rebirth. Because we were already attacking stuff when that happened, that's gonna give us some extra XP. I have some stuff saved up. Got plenty of levels from this. Already back up to 400. So yeah, that's just the name of the game. Use the quest to your advantage. So, I'll see y'all again in a little bit. I'm gonna be honest, these, what are they called? Storm breaks, best thing ever. And we're ready to rebirth. Again, let's go ahead and claim some of these quests, especially these weeklies. 390, good lord. Alright, we got that maxed out. Let's go ahead and start upgrading reach so I can start claiming some other stuff. Yeah, I hoarded a bunch of quests for this one. Very well worth it from what it seems. 'Cause yeah, we're making big gains. I am running out of tickets. And that is a problem. So I have to be a little bit more conservative with what I'm spending on, but meh. We're still making a lot of big gains right now. So, okay. I'll bring y'all back for the next one. And I don't know how long it's been. How long has it been? I don't know, this much time. So, about 3 hours. We've gotten through the last 2 rebirths. So, not bad. Let's go ahead and rebirth. We are at max yet again. So this will be Rebirth number 5, and we start off with quite a few. Go ahead and dump all of our XP in there, just so when I claim the few quests I have right now, we will get the most bang for our buck. Here we go. I'm gonna be honest, pretty much all I was doing was just refreshing these quests. I am pretty much out of tickets though. So us getting to max level is gonna slow down just a hair. But honestly, it hasn't been that bad. What's going to be painful right now is trying to level back up. But yeah, you can do this with dungeons, but I mean, honestly, server hopping with storms and quests. The quests in the end were only giving maybe 2 to 3 levels each. So I was having to spam them a lot more, which was a little bit annoying. But it wasn't too bad, at least for me. And our storm break ended. Very sad. Well, I'm gonna go work on getting, I guess, final levels up, and I'll bring y'all back when we're done. And we are 1 level away, so I just need to finish 1 quest, which is probably gonna be the brute quest, because I think I'm out of tickets. No, I have enough. Whatever this is, we have a rise and we have a brute quest. Let's go. Let's see, will this arise quest take us over? Yes, it did. There you go. There is max level. We are Rebirth 5. And in total, that took us probably about 3.5 hours. So if you're not able to use the update time to go ahead and max level, I mean, I did 3 rebirths, no, 4 technically full rebirths all the way back up to max in about 3.5 hours. Storms are going to be your best friend just to sit in and do quests. And then, of course, if you can get a nice high dungeon that you can put some tokens in, that's also going to be your next best bet. Not too bad. Actually, kind of happy about that. So, I'm going to leave y'all here. Hopefully this video was helpful and informative. I will try to answer questions down below. I have been trying to include all that extra info that y'all are wanting. And I'll see y'all next time.